Artistic effects are not new to CorelDRAW, but what is new in CorelDRAW 2019 is the ability to apply non-destructive effects. In other words, any effects that are applied can be turned on or off, adjusted, or rearranged to get just the look you want. And a set of effects can also be exported to use in other projects as well. Before we get started, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description below that will take you to our tutorial page on Corel's Discovery Center. Here you can also download a written copy of this tutorial to try out the steps yourself. I have opened this vector artwork. When I open the Objects Docker, I see that almost everything is ungrouped, which gives me easy access to select specific objects on which to perform edits. I'll start by selecting the swimsuit, then I'll choose Effects, Creative, Fabric. I'll adjust the settings, keeping Preview checked, then click OK. Now in the Properties Docker, I can open the Effects tab to see the single effect I've applied so far. If I click the pencil icon for the fabric effect, the settings reopen and I can make adjustments. I can also click the eye icon to turn off the effect, revealing the original object. I'll turn the effect back on. The swimsuit is still selected, and I can add more effects directly in the Properties Docker. I'll click the plus icon to open the same menu of options I would see in the Effects menu. I'll choose Creative, Crystallize, adjust the size, and click OK. Now the second effect is added to the Effects tab, which displays the most recent effects first. I'll also add a third effect, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and a fourth, Art Strokes, Cubist. Now in my effects list, I can use the eye icon to decide which effects to keep. I can turn off Crystallize and Cubist, and inactive effects remain indicated in the list even when not highlighted. Or I can turn these back on and rearrange the order of effects. I'll drag Cubist just above Fabric and the Blur just below Crystallize. Each change in order causes the effects to be applied differently. I can also delete an effect, the Blur in this example, by highlighting it and clicking the Delete icon. Now that I have the effects set the way I want, I can apply them to other objects. I'll shift-select the effects and drag them over to the hairband. When I open my Objects Docker again, I can see which objects have effects applied. If these are effects that I'd want to apply to other objects, I can save the set of effects. I'll right-click on the swimsuit and choose Object Styles, New Style from, Effects. I'll name this style Cubist Fabric. The box to open the Object Styles Docker is checked, and when I click OK, I can see my saved style in that Docker. I'll add a second page to this document and add some basic shapes with various fill colors. To apply my Cubist Fabric effects, I can drag the style into the object I want to change, or I can select the object first and click Apply to Selected in the Docker, or I could select the object and double-click the style. And if I want to save the style to use on a new document, I can highlight the style, click the Import-Export icon, and choose Export Style Sheet. I'll save this with the same name, Cubist Fabric. I'll choose to export styles and click OK. Now I have a new document open with new artwork. In the Object Styles Docker, I'll click the same Import-Export icon, choose to import, and bring in the style I saved. And I'll use the Objects Docker to select the curves I want to assign the effects to. Then I'll go back to Object Styles and click Apply to Selected. This brings us to the end of this tutorial on non-destructive effects in CorelDRAW. If you've been watching this video on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description below that will take you to our tutorial page on Corel's Discovery Center. Here you can also download a written copy of this tutorial to try out the steps yourself.